Yes, absent-minded nihilists. We had them also pretty recently in this 100 SCPs. We had them in 2547. 2547. Yes, that was the whole like ring of dogs, and then the one like coyote, humanoid coyote, who was like you have forgotten us. The dogs! Yeah, exactly. The dogs! By the way, crazy! Answer me this question. Bowset. Yes or no? Would or would not? In the meantime, while you answer this question, I will say to you that absent-minded nihilists, the SCP that we have right now is called what? Rough Beast. Okay. Oh, this seems like a much long one. Oh, that's hard because it clashes with my child. Like clashes with your childhood. How come? Like, what do you mean? Like, oh, like that's in like Mario and Bowser and all that stuff. Of the class Keter. SCP Special Containment Procedures SCP-2574 is currently uncontained, as physical means of containment have proven unable to stop SCP-2574's progress. Large-scale use of amnestics is currently authorized to combat the effects of SCP-2574. Knowledge of SCP-2574 has spread to the point of rendering amnestics insufficient in populated areas plotted to be in SCP-2574's path or to be evacuated at least 1 week before SCP-2574 reaches the area. The Foundation is currently collaborating with affected governments to repair damage done by SCP-2574 and quell violence both directly and indirectly related to its appearance. Governments are to be discouraged from enacting military strikes, as any attacks on SCP-2574 will invariably prove more damage to both military and civilians than to SCP-2574. Yep, gotcha. Yeah. I mean, if you don't want to answer that question, if you're not comfortable, we can just leave it at that. I say yes. The Global Occult Coalition and the Foundation have agreed to collaborate for the sole purpose of constructing a large-scale memetic mesh that will counteract SCP-2574's effect on global psychology, which cannot be replicated by either group alone to prevent the possibility of full memetic warfare. The resulting Last Valkyrie protocol has been put in place as a preemptive measure to handle the mass political unrest and anarchic tendencies generated when SCP-2574 reaches its destination. By the way, let's see if you can hear my neck crack now. Yeah. Not the loudest neck crack I had. Sorry. But I felt my neck was getting stiff, so I was like, I'm gonna crack it. SCP-2574 is a 12-meter tall leonine creature composed of sandstone and smooth muscle tissue. DNA tests indicate species of ocean to be the African lion. SCP-2574's Simba. Wait, I still have it from Stray.
Remember who you are.
SCP-2574 is surrounded at all times by a flock of birds of prey. Probably like vultures? This was the lioness, right? Yeah. Approximately 6,000 of the time being, birds that join the flock remain with SCP-2547. 6,000 birds. 6,000 birds, dude. What's the title of this one? What? Rough Beast. Okay. Can you imagine? You see 6,000 birds in one location? Because there's like one lion just hanging around there, and then like another group of birds just like flying in that swarm, and suddenly like, they're like, okay, now I guess we're part of this group now. The flock designated -1 is fixated on attacking SCP-2547 and will not respond to any other stimulus. SCP-2574 constantly regenerates from the damage done by -1. 6,000 birds attacking one lion, dude. SCP-2574 is capable of locomotion at a rate of 3 to 5 kilometers a day and is moving steadily towards a fixed destination. Okay, wait. Where are you going? Where does your destination lie? SCP-2574 is undeterred by most obstacles, whether man-made or naturally occurring. It can swim at a rate of 2 to 3 kilometers per day and will either crush land-based obstacles or climb over them. Currently, SCP-2574 is estimated to have cost 25.3 million USD in damages, 112 deaths, and 625 injuries. How in the fuck did this happen? The entity itself, not its effects. Wait, it also has effects? What? The current theorized destination, SCP-2574, is in the city of Sarajevo, capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina. SCP-2574's effects began on December 24th, 2012 and have continued to the present day. SCP-2574 appears to have a wide variety of anomalous effects. SCP-2574 physically affects its current location by temporarily transforming it into a facsimile of a World War I combat zone. That explains the damage and the deaths and the injuries. Materialization of aerial attacks, abnormal chemicals, man-made landforms, and a variety of weaponry have all been observed in the wake of SCP-2574. SCP-2574 also causes temporal anomalies, producing historically accurate hallucinations of combat during both World War I and the Irish War of Independence, and causing both temporary and permanent manifestation of persons involved in either conflict. You know what? There's a little bit of a missed opportunity. Just a tiny bit with this SCP. They should have made it a bear. And made the hallucinations be about World War II. Because there was an actual bear in World War II that helped out. Imagine if they like that would have been baller. If they actually referenced, I know maybe that just was written by the time where nobody knew about the bear, because it's only like recently that it's become more like known knowledge that the Polish had a bear in the army. A big stone line makes the delusions of war also fair. Yeah, no, it's both are fair. Both are fair, but it would have been funny. It would have been a funny reference. It would be like, it's like, oh yeah, because there was a Polish bear that became an official soldier that carried around ammunition for the fellow Polish soldiers. Like, that shit's awesome. In addition, SCP-2574 has a global effect on socio-political attitudes. Though the effect is more pronounced in countries involved in either World War I or the Irish War of Independence, SCP-2547 causes a measurable increase in civil unrest, civilian discontent, police brutality, and bellicose foreign policy decisions. The strength of these patterns is inversely proportional to SCP-2574's distance from its destination. Due to the nature of SCP-2574, it has been conjectured that SCP-2574 was not the source of this effect, but rather responding to them. Evidence for this theory comes from the occurrence of several international conflicts days before SCP-2574's first appearance. Okay, here we have location of SCP-2574 and the distance from Sarajevo, and anomalous effect and date. So, location is east of Astana, capital of Kazakhstan, 5,013 kilometers. Published works in Russian and Kazakh randomly begin, including passages from Irish poet William Butler Yeats, or Yeats, body of works. Length ranges from a sentence to entire poems. Works appear to be effective regardless of author or genre. February 3rd, 2000. Russia. 3,006 kilometers. In rural areas throughout Europe, flowing gas clouds manifest at sunrise and are unable to be dispersed for the next 2 to 4 days. March 21st, 2000. Still in Russia, but 2,759 kilometers. Raptors begin migrating towards SCP-2574 in order to join Dash 1. Russia begins a series of airstrikes, causing tensions with bordering countries when intelligence is leaked that Russia plans to attempt a nuclear attack. June 1st, 2000. Still in Russia. Makes sense, I mean. Russia is fucking big. 2016, poppies begin growing in large numbers in locations where they are normally not found, especially urban locations. Religious cults centered around SCP-2574 begin to emerge. December 30th, 2000. Ukraine, 1,752 kilometers. Descendants of World War I veterans begin having hallucinations corresponding to their ancestors' experience during the war. February 19th, 2000. Ukraine still. 1,657 kilometers. Plant and rock formation begin forming conic spirals regardless of environmental conditions or normal growth patterns. Mass suicides become an almost monthly occurrence. May 4th, 2000. Romania, 1,404 kilometers. Aerial bombings begin occurring in abandoned rural fields in rural areas of Central and Eastern Europe. Civilians report seeing aircraft overhead dropping the explosives, but no aircraft is ever detected on surveillance footage or radar during the events. Prevalence of aerial warfare shifts from minor to major aspects of combat during World War I. July 28th, 2000. Romania, 1,228 kilometers. Civilian police violence rates increases by 50%, 25% in Ireland. 14 cases of arson occur in the Irish cities of Cork, Dublin, and Belfast. Government shut down occurrence in France, Great Britain, and Italy, leading to widespread riots. September 12, 2000. This shit is going nuts. Hungary, 1,111 kilometers. Boys espousing anarchist sentiments begin to increase exponentially in following popularity. October 24th, 2000. Hungary. There's a lot happening. there's a lot happening right now in the 981 kilometers. Assassination attempts on politicians increase in frequency by 60%. December 10th, 2000. Still in Hungary. This guy has been in Hungary for quite some time. Or at least a lot has happened while I was in Hungary. 875 kilometers. Televised political speeches begin, including passages from addresses given by political leaders during the 1910s. America refused to send aid to the UN to help European countries and withdraws from the UN shortly after. January 7th, 2000. Hungary, 756 kilometers. Countries with hostile relations are experiencing border skirmishes at an average frequency of one altercation every 2 weeks. April 4th, 2000. Hungary, 558 kilometers. Patients with identification matching that of World War I soldiers are brought into hospitals with war injuries common to that area. Patients in university die during surgery and their bodies disappear when no longer under observation. June 14th, 2000. Serbia, finally out of Hungary, 285 kilometers. Irish-English conflict begins to grow more violent and a surge in Northern Irish nationalism is seen. The Secretary of State is in its process of proposing a border poll. August 22nd, 2000. And now Bosnia and Herzegovina, 108 kilometers. Dreams of SCP-2574 become widespread. Majority of subjects report that an entity contained within SCP-2574 was attempting and failing to communicate with them. Multiple websites are created to document its appearance in dreams. September 30th, 2000. What a strange line. Also, like how fits perfectly. Wait, I'm a little bit confused with oh, you mean Legend of Zelda? Oh yeah, was it Legend of Zelda music before? Yeah. I was so focused on like reading everything that I completely ignored the music for a hot second. SCP-2547 was discovered just outside of Bethlehem, Israel, after multiple videos of a massive sphinx appeared on Israeli news. SCP-2547 ignored all attempts at contact with agents of Foundation, GOC, and Serpent's Hand, and crushed a GOC armed truck that attempted to provoke a response by blocking its path. I completely forgot that it's supposed to be massive, right? It's a 12-meter tall. Yeah, it's like this. Yeah, it makes sense that people think it's a sphinx. YouTube footage of SCP-2574 in Debrecen, Hungary from September 12, 2000. Begin footage, so 00. Footage of Debrecen's Reformed Church, a popular tourist attraction. 17 seconds. SCP-2547 appears in frame. People begin to flee. 20 seconds. SCP-2547 makes its way down the main walkway, showing no signs of slowing as it approaches the church. 25 seconds. Upon reaching the church, I think this is actually minutes. Yeah, I think this is minutes. Yeah. 17 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 seconds, 25 minutes. Upon reaching the church, SB-2547 continues to walk, forcing its way through the building and leading the building to collapse around it. Despite the left tower falling directly on its head, SB-2574 continues on the turret. For 1 minute, SB-2574 continues away from the church and out of frame and footage. Okay, now here we have a shit ton of things. Oh hey, very short. First, no media mention of SB-2547 from International Media Network on February 9th, 2000. What was once thought to be a hoax is now considered very, very real with multiple verified sightings. Okay. So people didn't believe at first, of course. I mean, hard to believe. Giant, like things like the statue moving around. Civilian account of an anomaly generated by SB-2547, Solinbed, Kazakhstan, February 9th, 2000. The first bomb fell about 60 yards away. The planes were small and flying low. The second one hit some of my sheep. God, the way they screamed. They whistled as they fell, and there was shrapnel everywhere. It was old stuff. Heavy. I was dragging my son inside as the third bomb fell, and I looked up and I saw it on the horizon. It was just a silhouette, but it was immense. It just walked on and on and on. The bombs fell around it and even began burning on its skin, but it just kept moving. It wasn't fast either. It just plodded, like some kind of automaton. It didn't even turn to look. Just stared straight ahead, dead-eyed, blank. Okay, let's be honest though. Let's be serious for a hot moment. Seeing a 12-meter like Sphinx-like statue in the distance, just like slowly making its way across your field, and around it is like World War I shit happening, like bombs falling, gunshots, like things that a hot second ago wasn't there to begin with. It does give an eerie vibe, very eerie vibe to it. It's like very surreal. Honestly, if I was anybody else, I would kind of like think it's like the end of the world is here, because that I would consider that statue more like a deity of destruction. I would think I was dreaming and go back to bed. I don't think you would be thinking you were dreaming if a bomb landed next to you and you felt the shrapnel hit you. I think that would be the moment like, ah, that shit hurt. Like bad. Oh man. Except from leaked foreign policy. Briefing transcript, April 14th, 2000. Austrian and Hungarian leaders have been in talks in some time. But today we received word of military alliance with the intent of occupying certain Balkan and Eastern European nations, including Serbia, Ukraine and Belarus. No word on whether Russia itself is a target. Rumors of German involvement are currently unconfirmed, but the recent civilian death in Nice may give them a common enemy in France. Is there a place called Nice? Exchange between TOC and Foundation representatives July 26, 2000 blank. I propose a system that allows neither group to recreate the formula on their own. We cannot allow petty disputes to let this anomaly wreak further havoc. This thing is dragging us back towards another world war. Back towards the conditions that caused the poem to be written in the first place. Yeats believes history was cyclical. If that's true, there's nothing we can do to stop it from getting to Sarajevo. We can only prepare for what happens when it gets there. And the only way we can protect ourselves is if we cooperate. So get over yourselves. That's actually kind of very like poetic and scary. It's like that. It's by causing imagery and actual like manifestation of World War I to happen. It's causing the current world to slowly lean towards World War III. Because like everybody is realizing this is happening and they're trying to all work together, but because there's like so much bullshit happening, they kind of are attacking each other at the same time. And as it says here, history was cyclical. So this SCP kind of is kind of resetting, or kind of like restarting a new world war by showing an old one. Except from missive from Foundation to German Chancellor. We understand the current situation in regards to the civil unrest within your nation has become untenable. We have recently come into possession of some large-scale treatments that will act as a mass conciliatory agent that will reduce tensions and allow for some semblance of order to be restored. We cannot guarantee more than 3 months' supply, so be judicious in your usage. Partial dosing over long periods of time is highly recommended. Except from an address given by President of the Russian Federation before a failed drone strike on SCP-2574. The creature we have seen is an enigma. We have no conception of its goals, its thoughts, its intentions. We do not know if it thinks, we do not know if it feels or hates or wants. Or if it endangers the lives of a single Russian citizen, it will be met with force. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's causing a lot of unrest and a lot of people becoming more and more trigger happy because it's dangerous. Which makes me wonder why, like, do the birds know about it? Do the birds sense some sort of, like, connection to this and the damage and danger it brings? And that's why the birds are, like, all, like, trying to attack it? Phone post made on site devoted to recording dreams of SCP-2574. I saw it again. Well, him again. It was him. The poet. Not the thing, if that makes sense. He's trapped. He was begging me to set him free. He was sobbing and his tears burned his face and they burned mine. He called the falcons to him, I think, but he kept moving. He told me this was his punishment, this cycle. He wanted to stop moving, but he couldn't. He never could. Then he crushed me beneath his paw and he cried for me. And that's when I woke up. I love how he said he saw the poet, not the thing, but a lot of it describes the thing. The birds are trying to kill it, most likely. Yeah, I think the birds are trying to kill it. He called the falcons to him. It's an interesting part to keep in mind. Excerpt from sermon from one of the many religious organizations created in the wake of SCP-2574's encounters with the public. Come to us and embrace your salvation. Discover the words of the prophet Yeats, who spoke the sacred truth that all of history is a spiral and that we have spiraled outwards towards chaos. Learn the true nature of the second coming. We will teach you the cycle of time and the road to the eternal ecstasy amidst the sins of the suffering. Give in not to degeneracy. Issue your thoughts of the future. Know we're all as tides in an ocean, never forwards, never truly backwards. Embrace the widening gyre. The moment they said history is a spiral, I had to think of Junji Ito immediately, and it's like, you say a spiral, say. Historical documentation. Excerpt from testimony of Gavrilo Princip. Do you see it? The gyre, the spiral. It has been tightening for so long, suffocating us, restricting us. We are bound by its machinations, rendered immobile by its interminable bonds. All of life is straining against it, training to be free. The spiral must move outward to chaos, to life, to freedom. It was the apex, and the minute I put that bullet through his head, I liberated us, and now we may fall away, outward, into the primal heat, and wander and roam again. I have saved us! I have set us free. Excerpt from Yad's journal in the days before his death. There's no record of Yad's ever traveling to Bethlehem, nor of any strange behavior like that documented here. The handwriting, word usage, and DNA tests from bloodstains in the pages all show Yads as the author. Oh, for fuck's sake. December 23rd, 1938. The Sus Gyres. The Among Gyres. I cannot bear the pull any longer. It's not just my mind, not anymore. It's my flesh itself, yearning, pulling away from my bones. It's my flesh itself, so the lion seems to be his flesh and his mind. I wake up in the night and find myself facing towards a sacred place. There's a pilgrimage to be made. But what will I find at the end of it? Where will it take me? Every morning I wake up to the bombs whistling overhead. Is the war still on? It always is. In the papers, on the radio, the fires in the fields, they tell me it is 1938. The lying, it is 1918. It has always been 1918. I cannot do this much longer. I held off as long as I could, you know I did. But they created me, the crowds in all the folly and greed, they took me and shaped me like clay, carved me like stone. They do not know what they did. The will of the spirit and the soul runs through me and howls, reaching out its claws for us. We have abused each other and the land for too long. It must strike back. I see the disasters of the past and the tragedies of the future, and the monsters they create soon. Soon, I will be amongst them. Okay, so I think I understand now why the birds are attacking him, because remember when it said he called the falcons to him? And now we have confirmation that the statue has Yet's body and mind. It seems to be him somehow like his body and mind became that statue, and he's calling the birds to him because he wants to be killed. But it seems that the birds are not strong enough. He's getting like his regeneration is so strong that he just keeps staying alive, and he's like slowly walking towards the destination, which seems to be, I see the disasters of the past and the tragedies of the future, and the monsters they create. Soon I will be amongst them. So I wonder if the place he wants to go will absolve him. I don't think so. I think the place he wants to go will restart everything again. Who knows? Let's see. January 2nd, 1939. Bethlehem, Bethlehem, Bethlehem. I must carry us to our end. I cannot do it. I cannot. But I walk in spirals when I'm not thinking. And I smell the mustard gas wherever I go. The skin on my back grows stony, and I fear what will happen if I do not follow. I must walk the spiral. I must plead. I must. Please. Why could you not pick another vessel? I am the chaos. I am the dying. I am the screams and trenches and... Oh God, it hurts. January 28th, 1939. I'm here now. Bethlehem. It's all the right to walk, to think. I cannot feel any part of me. I no longer need to blink. I stay under the sun without pain or fear. I'm so scared. I'm not human. Not anymore. I would scream when I look in the mirror if I cared. I hide and I grow, and the falcons all swarm around my door. I'm losing myself. It will make me walk the spiral. The pool is still there, but it's fainter into a different place. Sarajevo. Curse Sarajevo, not again. Please, I beg you, not again. But first I must sleep. Sleep for decades. Complete the curse. Change myself utterly into a beast. I can only hope I will have lost myself enough when I wake to be unaware. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I must walk the spiral. I must follow the path that they lead me on. I smell the blood, hear the shouting, and always the scent of mustard gas. With their brutality, they will lead me back to Sarajevo. Whatever chaos I cause, it's not my fault. It's only your own. I'm only walking the spiral. You cleared the path. You will guide me through, and now I walk. SCP-2574 will reach its destination in approximately 1 month. Yeah, it seems that like he's just cursed to like walk from one location to the other, while I think before he thought it was 1918 because he's walking during the time where World War II was happening, but which was like maybe a coincidence. That's why he thinks like, no, it's still 1918 instead of 1938. And then he slept, became the statue completely. Maybe he was already the statue, but he definitely became the statue completely at some point, right? And now he's awake, and now he's traveling back to Sarajevo, and now all the World War I imagery is coming out, which is, I think what it's supposed to indicate is, I think what's happening is he's walking the moment a world war is about to start. I think that's supposed to be the indication here. Is that he's not walking during a world war. He's walking before the World War starts. He's kind of like, for the imagery of World War I, he's kind of like triggering another war with it. He's a ticking time bomb, exactly. The moment he reaches, because when did, let's see here. start, right? Start. September 1st, 1939. And when did he reach his destination? January 29th, 1930. So it is a couple, I would say, like a couple months ahead, but I would still argue that he's like a, how do I say this? I'm trying to think of the word. Precursor? A pre-warning? He's definitely a trigger event for a world war, and that's what is also being shown in the anomalous effect bars. Is that like when he's walking from east of Astana back to Sarajevo, it shows how much more people around the world are getting uneasy and are like yelling at each other and like becoming precursor fits. Okay, and becoming more and more angry and irritated and like blaming other people and ready to like basically fight each other instead of trying to solve this anomaly. Because once he reaches Sarajevo in that year, whatever year it is, because it is blanked out, so whatever year it is, once he reaches the location in that year, World War III will officially start, which I think is a cool concept. It's like saying, like, because it's again this whole like history repeats itself, history is a spiral, and it's kind of also very ironic because he has the belief that history is a spiral and that like things like war will always come back, but he's technically the reason it even happens to begin with. So it's very like ironic that he's like saying like, oh yeah, history repeats itself, but like I'm like, dude, it's because of you. You're the reason it does. You started this. So yeah. So like that's actually very interesting. Interesting aspect of like. It's almost like fate, right? Like the moment he walks, it is fate that World War III will happen. It's like, stop, man, and stop, man, lion, man. Just please, dude. Like, yeah, basically, you have to just hope that he sleeps for a long time, right? Because then, like, once he wakes up and walks, you're like, oh shit. Him walking means there will be another war happening.